Today I want to show you a fun different take on how to use stepping stone mixes and molds. So I am going to show you today how to create this cute plant stand.
We are going to start this project out by mixing up our cement. So take your stepping stone mix, put it in a container that you're okay with throwing away, and then add 2 cups of water. You're going to stir it until it gets to be a sour cream consistency. If you need more water, add it tablespoon by tablespoon and get all of that dry mix mixed in. Then you will take your octagon stepping stone mold and pour your cement mix into it. You'll take a popsicle stick and start spreading it all out so you get it a nice even coat. You want to make sure to get it to all of the sides and the edges, and then jiggle the entire mold every once in a while to try and get all of the air bubbles out. Then you're going to take your popsicle stick and start making the top surface of that flat. Let that sit for 25 minutes, and then come back with your wooden dowels and your template that we have online and mark the spots where you are going to place your wooden dowels. Then you're going to poke these in about a 1/4 inch just to create the indent so we can glue that in later. Then let that dry for 24 hours. Next we're going to take our wooden dowels and we're going to start painting them. So take masking tape and put it about 4.5 inches from the bottom, wrap it around, and that is as high as we're going to paint with our white paint. Before we start painting, we are going to take our sanding block and just smooth out those blunt edges. We just want to round each end a little bit. Then once we've got those nice and smooth, we're going to go in with our white paint and paint that bottom 4.5 inches, including the bottom of the dowel. This takes 2 coats and then let it dry. We're going to peel off that tape, and then we're going to retape about 1.5 inches from the bottom, and that's where we're going to do our color blocking with the gray. So again, put the tape around the entire dowel and then paint 2 coats of gray. Let that dry and then peel the tape up once it's dry. Now it's time to take that plant stand out of the mold, so we are going to move the edges until the plant stand pops out. Then grab that sanding block and sand down those rough edges that you might have around the plant stand. Then we're going to take our wooden dowels and place them in the imprinted holes just to make sure everything fits nicely. And as you can see, one of my legs was a little bit wobbly, so I took a piece of cardstock, just one that I had laying around, created a little wedge, and then it stood up nicer. Then you're going to follow the directions on the Gorilla Glue, which tells you to wet one of the surfaces that you're gluing together, and then apply glue in the other surface. So I wet my wooden dowels, I put glue inside the imprint that was on the stepping stone, and then I placed my dowels in there. The directions on the Gorilla Glue does say it expands 3 to 4 times the size, so don't use too much, use it rather sparingly. And our last step before we let it dry is to make sure everything is level. So I put a flat surface over the 3 legs and I used my phone's level to make sure everything was nice and flat. Then you let it dry for about 2 hours before you can use your plant stand.
You can find all the supplies to make this project at craftsdirect.com and jump over to the Projects tab.